Everyone needs a good-looking spear in their arsenal. That spear this week is the Cross Naginata. This poker of Japanese inspiration has a fun moveset and a beautiful design that can carry you through any New Game Plus cycle. We'll find the spear at the bottom of Gale Tunnel. Look for the area of the cave where the Radahn soldiers are positioned outside the entrance. Get through them and the weapon will be on the ground by the land octopus. The moveset is a bit odd, but by no means in a bad way. The light attacks consist of quick slash attacks we can use to build up successive attack power. The heavy attacks will have more of what we expect from a spear. The heavy jump and running attacks are great piercing moves. The fully charged neutral R2 is a heavy thrust forward and will do comparable damage to the Ash of War while dealing solid poise damage. Also, this weapon has innate bleed buildup, so we will have the greatest status in the game at our fingertips for every fight. This will be a keen infusion build, and greases will be a part of it. It has been far too long since I used a great grease build, and I was so happy to imbue my weapon with these elements. Mesmer Fire is my favorite, adding fire damage with a dark fire effect. Royal Magic Grease adds magic damage, and makes the whole weapon glow a bright blue. Finally, we can simply use Blood Grease to increase blood loss buildup. There is only one Ash of War I thought of when I wanted to reuse this weapon. Impaling Thrust. There are 3 things going for it. It is fast, cheap on FP, and does good damage. This is not the first time I used this Ash of War, and will not be the last. If you ever have a big pointy weapon and are unsure of what to infuse it with, Impaling Thrust is never the wrong choice. We'll use the 2 standard buffing incantations for this build. Golden Vow will boost our damage by 15% and damage negation by 10%. Flame Grant Me Strength will boost our stamina recovery and increase our physical damage by 20%. Start off with a Flask, then Vow, then Grease, then Flame Grant Me Strength to use the buffs in descending duration order. We can open with a few Impaling Thrust attacks for damage to HP and poise, or as many light attacks as you can throw out to build up successive attack power. Impaling Thrust is so cheap, we can use it constantly throughout the fights and not worry about running out of FP. This is the second time I'm doing a build for this weapon, but the first video I made was mostly focused on not using the heads-up display at all throughout the game, and I'm not happy with it. A quick video focused on this weapon is exactly what it needed. This week, I want to ask you a more general question. What other games would you like to see builds of? I did a Code Vein build last week, and while it doesn't have that many views at the moment, a large portion of the people watching it are finding it through search. That's a good sign, demonstrating I made something useful. There's always the other From Software games, and Fallout New Vegas turned 15 a few days ago, so I'm itching to get a build out for that game too. And as always, for more videos like this, every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, be sure to like and subscribe to TheJerseySide. Our talismans for the build were the Two-Handed Sword Talisman, for 15% more damage while two-handing, the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, for 20% more damage after blood loss in the area, and Millicent's Prosthesis with the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, for 5 more dexterity and a successive attack power boost. That successive attack power did come into play at many points throughout the playthrough, but if you want something more tanky and safer to use, you could switch out those last 2 talismans for the Dragon Crest Great Shield and the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman, giving us 20% extra physical damage negation and much needed stamina regen, as I found myself always running out of stamina on this build. Our tiers were the Thorny Crack tier for more successive attack power, and a choice between the Bloodsucking Crack tier and the Opaline Hard tier, for 20% more damage at the cost of health drain and 15% more damage negation respectively. Our stats at RL170 are 60 Vigor, 22 Mind to use the incantations and Ash of War, 35 Endurance, 16 Strength, 75 Dexterity, and 25 Faith to use the incantations. That 75 dexterity will be boosted up to 80 with the use of Millicent's Prosthesis. The Cross Naginata is cool not only in moveset, but in design as well. If you want a cool, blood loss inducing weapon that you can slap some nice greases on, or are still obsessed with Sekiro like I am, pick up the Cross Naginata.